1820s, photography was invented. Joseph Nicephore Niepce used the camera obscura to create the first permanent photography. 1925, the 35mm camera is introduced, the Leica 1, popularizing the 35mm still photography and making cameras more portable and accessible. 1975, Kodak invents the digital photography and later introduced the CCD sensor that led to the first consumer digital cameras in the 1990s. 2007, Apple introduces the iPhone and smartphone photography becomes a must on any phone, turning photography into an everyday activity in everyone's pockets. 2020s, AI and computational photography. Phones now have AI models that allegedly can improve photos taken before you even know if there's anything wrong with the photo. So after 200 years of evolution, what is even photography? Over the years, some of the most iconic moments in history have been registered in photos. War, justice, big achievements, win, losses, Earth, and everything in between. For me, ever since I can remember, I was taking photos. Sometimes more, sometimes less, but always taking photos. I would take my mom's or my sister's cameras and use any opportunity I had. I was never good at it, just enjoy the process. I remember the first time I used a camera. I was 5 or 6 and I was begging my dad to let me use the family camera. At the time, it was a film camera of sorts. I don't fully remember which one, but I remember him saying that I had to make sure to take good photos because film was expensive. Not that I really care about that. I was just having fun. And when we developed the roll, guess what? They were all over the place. Crooked, shaky, and everything that could go wrong kinda did. But I didn't care. I loved it. I still remember what I felt when I looked at those photos for the first time. My dad, on the other hand, he wasn't so happy that I wasted film on shitty photos. For him, that meant wasted negative, wasted money, but for me, it meant the world. And I didn't care if they weren't perfect. They were mine. And if I'm being honest, that's part of the fun. It doesn't have to be perfect. As I got older, I started using different cameras. Digicams, DSLR, and mirrorless. My photos got better, but something was missing. They somewhat felt soulless to me. It didn't matter how much I edited them or how many times I took one shot. It was never what I expected. It never felt the same as those first film photos. They were too perfect. And that's about when COVID hit. And we were all stuck inside trying not to go crazy. During that time, I started taking more photos on my phone. I even started a daily challenge on Instagram and tried as much as possible to post one photo every day without leaving the house. But that didn't last long. Those photos were never something that I was really proud of, nor they meant anything to me. So naturally, I dropped the challenge somewhere along the way. And that was a bigger deal than I thought it was going to be at the time because it took me a while to go back to wanting to shoot again. I only fully got back to it when I rediscovered film photography. And boy, oh boy, was that a rabbit hole. My partner and I shot 7 rolls before we even developed the first one. But when we did and I got the results from the lab, it felt different. Honestly, it felt like the first roll all over again. At the time, we only had one camera. This one. This is the same camera my in-laws took on their honeymoon 30 years ago. And after developing that first roll, I didn't waste any time and started looking for a second camera. That's when I came across this. This is my everyday carry. Anywhere I go, I take this camera with me. And that's when I rediscovered my passion for photography. It doesn't have to be perfect. Some shots are out of focus, some have light leaks, or I even forgot to advance the film and take 2 shots in the same frame. Either way, it feels like every photo tells a bigger story. Whereas taking photos on my phone feels like an obligation. I have tons of photos on my camera roll, but I rarely look back on them. Whereas film, I can print them, I can put photos side by side. It's more than just an image on a screen. The whole analog photography process is a very tactile and much more intentional and engaging. And that's true to multiple generations. Just look at the Gen Zers bringing back the digicams. It's not just the nostalgic factor, but there's also the fact that the photos are not perfect. They look and feel like a memory, like something you really want to look back into. Not like 15 photos that pretty much look the same on a phone screen. And don't get me wrong, I love tech. It's crazy how much we can pack into a small computer that lives in our pockets. But that's the problem for me. This does a little too much. It's a jack of all trades, but a master of none. And when it comes to the photo experience using a phone, it doesn't even come close to using a camera. And on top of that, we still have AI trying to improve our photos.
And when you take a photo in this mode, it kind of uses generative AI to fill in the details on what would normally be a pretty crappy photo, honestly.
Why would I want AI to take that process away from me? I don't want my photos to be improved. I want them to be what they are, not AI slop. I feel like the more technology advances, the more we ground ourselves into simpler gadgets. And I'm not just talking about film photography or digicams. It's also in music with the comeback of vinyl and CDs, and even the iPod, and in video with the camcorders or Deadcams. And it's not just the nostalgic factor. It is because those tools carry a lot more than music, photos, or video. They carry those moments that we capture with them. Each use is intentional. There's no algorithms, no For You page, just whatever you decided to be there. So to answer that question, what is photography? Well, it is whatever you want it to be. But I think above all, it's a process to document whatever is in front of the lens.